Okay, I'm back in a big way today. Got a couple videos planned. Gonna have one hopefully about the Cavaliers and that dumpster fire that I predicted properly before the season. But I wanted to talk a little bit about Destiny 2. As people may or may not know, it's one of the big focuses of this channel. This channel's kind of weird in that I see everybody else's channel, they seem to have like one theme. Whereas me, I just wanted to make a video to just talk about whatever the heck I wanted to talk about, mainly that people might find interesting. Obviously, not just talk about the weather or something. But so I wasn't going to be pigeonholed to one. Like I may want to talk about the Cleveland Cavaliers, one video, Destiny, another video. That's kind of a big game I've been playing the last 3 years. Spent a lot of my life playing that game. Guns, several focuses, which I don't see. Interestingly, I don't see any other channels like that, so I guess you're not supposed to do that. Most channels I see just focus on one thing. I guess maybe what I should do is, have a Destiny channel and a gun channel, and if I want to talk about different topics, I guess you have to split it into all different channels or something. Maybe that'd make more sense. I don't know, but I kind of wanted to do things my own way anyway, and just do what I wanted. And okay, who cares if it's not nobody else has done it? Maybe I'll be the first one to be able to do it, successfully. Not that I have any illusions this channel will ever be successful, but so I don't know. Just the point is, I kind of make these random videos. I got gun videos, I got Destiny videos, I got Cavaliers videos, probably my main three, but I got NeoGAF focused videos. I wanted to talk a little about Destiny 2 today. And I guess I'll just try to keep it somewhat limited in my focus and not go into a broad screed on Destiny 2. Basically on Destiny 2 as a whole, I'm enjoying it, but I'm also about to quit the game just because I think they've screwed a lot of things up. I still think the core is fun, but they've made it easy to quit, to be honest. But I wanted to talk about one of the biggest issues with the game as time goes on in my mind. So when I sit down to play Destiny, here's the problem I have with it more and more. And it's hard for me to crystallize these thoughts sometimes. Like, I have this vague feeling when I play Destiny of like the problems with it, but it's hard to really put into words or even think what the specific problem actually is. Why do I kind of dread playing Destiny sometimes? And I tried to really think, why is that, and why? I had to be mechanical about it and logically think it through. And to be honest, here's the problem with Destiny, and here's why I hate playing it sometimes. The raid. And that sounds so weird, and maybe I'm completely wrong on this topic, but that was the point of this video, is that I believe one of the biggest problems with Destiny is the raid in a weird way. Now, why is that? Well, as I state many times in videos, I'm pretty much a lone wolf. I'm not a very sociable guy. So I don't play video games with other people really much. I mean, once in a while. Another thing is I don't even like it. There's all this, they try to build all this social networking into game consoles now. And they want your friend to shoot you an invite. Oh, let's go do this. I hate that style of gameplay. Call me weird. I mean, I guess some people live for that. There's a lot of people in life that they'd rather just be hanging out and farting around with other people. There's a lot of people in Destiny like that. They'll tell you, oh, Destiny is all about your friends and it's all about fun. Well, to me, it's it's all about just hanging out, shooting the shit. To me, I can't really agree with that. Like when I play Destiny, I have goals and I want to get shit done. And I'm sorry, but at some extent, I can't buy the whole argument that, oh, it doesn't matter what you're doing in Destiny as long as you're doing it with people and cracking jokes and having a good time. To me, I don't buy that. Like when I log on Destiny, it's like, okay, I want to increase my power level. I want to do this. I want to get shit done. So if I'm sitting here, and it's usually only one thing that's capable of being done to get shit done. So like if I'm doing one thing and somebody wants to shoot me a random invite, 9 times out of 10 in Destiny or any other game, they're not going to be doing the same thing I am. They may be doing the raid, and even if I want to do the raid that week, I don't feel like doing the raid just then, or I don't have time to do the raid just then, or whatever. So to me, that invite is just annoying. When I want to raid, it's like I'll decide I want to raid, and I want to raid right then, and I've set aside 2 hours or whatever it is to raid right then. And the raid is such a chore as it is, you pretty much have to set aside 2 hours, which is a huge amount of time. So you can't just, like, a lot of times I'll get up and I get up way too late a lot of times. I'm a notoriously late sleeper. Like 2 p.m. is not an unusual time for me to get up. So I may get up kind of, sometime in the afternoonish, trying to get better about that and get up in the mornings, but still got some work to do. But anyways, so I may get up, afternoonish, and I don't like to get real heavy into Destiny. I usually turn it on though, one of the first things I do in the day, and putter around a little bit. But I don't want to sink, the last thing I want to do is get up right away and just sink 2 hours, or do something heavy duty like a raid. I save that for late at night. That's when it seems most natural. That's when there's nothing else to do. There's no daylight. You know what I mean? Chores or whatever you need to be doing as far as whatever you may need to do, projects you're working on, anything like that is done. And so, you know what I mean? Hold on just a minute, please. So yeah, point being, I'll get up and putter around a little. Let's say somebody shoots me an invite and they want to do their raid. The point is, whatever invite they're shooting me, there's almost 0% chance it's what I want to do right then. I may get up and okay, I'm gonna go do public events to do my public events flashpoint for the week. Odds are about 1 in a million that if I get an invite, that's what they're wanting to do. They may be, let's play Crucible, let's do this. I don't want to do any of those things, and I don't get many random invites anyway, don't get me wrong. And I don't really have any social circle online that's consistent anyway. But I do get guys that for whatever reason will send me invites sometimes. I kind of feel bad about turning them all down sometimes. But yeah, I just hate that. I never crystallized that feeling until I read it on a message board once a long time ago. A guy was just like, invites are so annoying. They're always not what I want to do. And, just go away. And that's exactly how I feel about it. And I get that the console makers are all trying to push into this social stuff. And I like it to an extent. Like, I'm not sitting here saying, like, the Super Nintendo was totally offline and all this was way better or something. Obviously, I play Destiny. That's kind of a social game, and that's a big aspect of it. I like, and being in a world where there's actual other alive people, even if I'm not communicating with them. Or where I can kind of show off my gear even if I may not be communicating with the people. Or whatever it may be. So the point is I'm not totally antisocial or something. But just that, like, an invite, I hate it. 99 times out of 100, it's not something I want to do, And then you get like you may feel obligated to do it. You feel bad about turning them down all the time. It's annoying. But the whole point of this was Destiny. And why the raid is the problem. Because first of all, it may just be my mindset, and that's fully a fair criticism. Because you could say like, well, look, if you don't want to do something in Destiny, don't do it. And shut up about it, and you're done. Just don't do it. Okay, fair enough. But I just feel like a compulsion, especially with a game about like Destiny, it's kind of a loot. I kind of have an OCD side, and like, I want to do everything. I want to get everything, And I've gotten better about it, especially with regards to Destiny. Like, early on in Destiny, I had to get and do everything, I raided with all 3 characters, all 3, every week. It was a ridiculous amount of time and all this. I've totally mellowed out a lot, and I barely raid at all anymore. And that's the point. Like, it's not fun because, first of all, again, I have to LFG. If you don't know what that means, it means looking for group. Hopefully you know what that means. So I have to LFG every raid. And that's what the vast majority of people, despite what Bungie thinks they're doing. They're trying to force everybody into clans, which is another issue that I don't like. But okay, whatever. The point is, when I sit down to play Destiny, what bugs me is the raid. It's like this looming thing that I always feel guilty, that I always feel I should be doing. To get the loot, to get the shaders, or whatever shit they're offering. And I don't even care about shaders in Destiny, really. But yeah. But it's so difficult with an LFG group. And it's so frustrating. The mechanics are so exacting. I saw another comment. A lot of times my feelings get crystallized in comments that I'll randomly see. And the guy put it way better than I ever could have a lot of times. There was this random comment I read, and it was something like, the raid really sucks. All it is a bunch of people getting mad at each other and getting pissed off and angry and then leaving. And I thought, that's so true. That's what 90% of the raid for an average person is. It's a bunch of people getting pissed off, mad as hell, and or quitting. That's all it is. Is that supposed to be fun? It's not fun. Let's see, Bungie, in their great development, wisdom. Here's the thing. They're all employees of the same company, and they all work on this game. They all probably play with each other to a large extent and so forth. They have fire teams. That's the thing. The raid would be so much easier if I had a consistent fire team. But who has that? Most people don't have that. Some do, but it's a vast minority. And even if you have a consistent fire team, you're always going to be in an LFG situation, because you're not going to have 6. You have to have 6 people. You're not going to have exactly 6 most of the time. You may have 4, you may have 3, you may have 5. So you have to fill out the other 2 spots with LFG anyway. What are the odds of having exactly 6 people? You're either going to, somebody's going to have to drop out, or, I got busy, somebody called, I had to leave, you know what I mean? It's almost impossible. Bungie is basing their whole game on an impossibility, Nobody has 6 people free that much. Now, granted, a lot of people do, but I would argue that in the grand scheme of the game, it's a minority that have that kind of time and that have people like that. I don't, and I never have through the whole game. So I feel like I'm much more representative of the average person's experience. The average, really, they need matchmaking, and I get why they don't do that, and I'm kind of ambivalent about it. Because I get that there'd be a lot of problems with it too. But the average person, like me, I've gotten where I just don't even want to play the raid. It's such a hassle. It's so hard to LFG. It's so annoying. I used to have these LFG websites, and then they all got super complicated and changed their format. And, there's ftw.in I used to use. It used to not be called that. There's DestinyLFG.net. I have this little Chromebook set up in front on my coffee table. It's like my Destiny Chromebook. I use Destiny Item Manager there. I can pull up Reddit and have, guides for various things bookmarked easily. Like, oh, here's a guide to how to set up your armor correctly back in the old days. Or here's a guide to how to run this and that, Here's a guide on best strategy, or here's all the weapon stats, Whatever, any kind of reference guide I may need to pull up. I bought this Chromebook pretty much just for Destiny. And it was awesome buy. It costs $199. It's a Toshiba. Has a 1080p IPS display. It's great. Except that there are issues with it, but I don't want to get into that. But the main issue I began having was, for some stupid reason lately, Xbox won't send messages on it. And that's how you use LFG on the Chromebook. You go to the site, you see a post, and then it'll have a little link to message the person. You message them. You can type it easy because you're already on a PC. You don't have to, typing shit on the Xbox controller is impossible. Forget that. I mean, it's possible, but it's a huge pain in the ass. And plus, then you have to actually manually type in their username to find them on the Xbox in the first place. It's ridiculous, But with the Chromebook, you can just go to the websites, find somebody. You're already logged in on your Xbox account. It's all integrated on these websites. You just click the message button. You send them a message like, hey, invite me, or hey, I'm a 300 hunter, and I got this and this, invite me. You can kind of suss out their posts for what they're thinking too. Like if they're, I always look for posts that are kind of looking casual because I'm not that good. So I don't want them to getting mad at me if I fail or whatever. So if they're like, I need only 305, looking to do a quick run, be good or get kicked, I say fuck that post. But if it's kind of like, we're looking for some players, we're going to have we're going to try to get this, if it's kind of a casual air, I'm more likely to respond to that post. Be that as it may. LFG's a shit show. And it got a lot harder recently because my Chromebook, for some reason, a few months ago, it stopped being able to send messages over Xbox. So then I had, the only option was to walk into the other room and use my desktop PC. And that's a pain in the ass when Destiny's in like one room, your desktop PC's in another, to go use LFG on the desktop PC. You know, I turn the volume on my TV up so I can hear the notification sound if somebody invites me. You know, it's just annoying. It's not, if the stupid Chromebook would work on, for some reason it won't message on Xbox sites anymore. I don't know what happened. It gives me an error every time. It's so annoying. But my Windows desktop will work fine on those same websites. That's why I wish I had not gotten a Chromebook, by the way. But anyways. Point is, LFG's a shit show, you know, and I find when I try to raid, at least half the battle of the raid is trying to get into a good group. Trying to get into a group at all, because some of the groups you'll get in, they'll just fuck around for like an hour before they even start playing. I mean, there's so many times when it's so frustrating. I'll spend a half hour and an hour just trying to get into a half-decent group before I ever start playing a minute of the raid, you know? Because the first group, you know, even if you try to screen for this type of thing, it may be a bunch of little kids, you know, and you're not playing with them. They don't never intend to be serious, you know. It's so annoying if you're an adult trying to play with kids, you know. They'll get sidetracked so easy, you know, they'll goof around. They think it's so funny to, like, knock each other off ledges and stuff. And then they'll get caught up. I've seen them before, you know, just knocking each other off ledges for, like, you know, ever. Instead of playing the fucking game, you know. So, yeah, LFG's just a shit show. One kid here and there's not bad, depending. But anyway, the point is, it's so hard to even get into a good group. I just grew to dread it, you know. It's not a case, I would love to play the raid and enjoy this content. But it's impossible, you know. The LFG, like I said, it's just such a pain getting into a good group, or even a decent group. Forget a good group. Then half the time you get into a group, you don't know if it's good or bad. You know, you have to play with it a while to see if it's looking like a decent group or not. You know, then what always ends up happening is, like, let's say you start the raid fresh. You beat a checkpoint or two, then inevitably they disband. You know, you wipe a couple times and somebody gets pissed or somebody has to go. People seem to have such a low tolerance for failure, you know. That's why you see every LFG post. One of the main things they all say is, you know, please don't join and quit. Please don't join and quit. Because it happens so much. You know, people may join. You wipe one time. Oh, I'm gone. I'm out of here, you know. You know, they have such a low attention span that if you're not winning every single encounter, they leave. You know, one wipe and they're gone, or two wipes and they're gone, you know. They don't even say anything. They just, you know, leave the party. All those kinds of issues. And then you always get, like, you're at the mercy of whoever's leading the group to put up another LFG post. And then they probably will just drag their feet on it and, you know, take forever. Okay, everybody take a smoke break. Or, you know, it just drags on and on and on. It's such a headache. And, you know, I've gotten in groups. You're trying to get in the group so bad, you think you may finally have a decent group of adults. And, you know, it takes them forever. Yeah, I'm trying to get people, man. You know, my friend, he just left. He's coming back, though, and we're going to try to get one more person. You know, you're the fifth, and we just need 6. And, you know, but, and then they'll just fart around, you know. What happened to so-and-so? And they'll just make it, you know, a lot of times 2 or 3 of them may know each other, and they don't know the rest of the people. There'll be the 2 or 3 that know each other, that are friends. They'll be just chit-chatting about their regular life stuff, and then, you know, you'll be sitting there like, okay, sure, it would be nice to go ahead and play already, you know. And then they'll be like, okay, you know, I'm trying to get to 6th. Okay, I think I got a guy, you know, 15 minutes later. Guy comes in, you know, and they're like, okay, everybody, tell you what, let's all take a smoke break and then we'll do this or something. You know, it's just so, you're just like, oh my God, we just waited forever and a day to get the 6th in. You got him in, the first thing you want to fucking do is take a break, everybody. You know, you just want to just put your head through the coffee table sometimes. And you can't say anything to these people because they'll just think you're being a butthole or something, you know. Yeah, I've wanted to go off on a lot of groups, but I don't. 9 times out of 10, almost never do I. They'll probably just give you bad feedback and get you banned on Xbox or something like that anyway. And I don't want to be rude. You know, if I let myself, I'd cuss half these people out and make them feel bad. But yeah, it's so annoying. And here's the problem, in my opinion. The raid is too difficult. Okay, normal raid I think is right about the right difficulty, but you need to leave that alone. Here's my whole point of this 20-minute video that I, as always, I can't structure my thoughts correctly for these videos. Here's my main point of this damn video after all this time. Stop with the prestige raid. And now I see today, Dado had a video, they've got some new challenge mode on top of that. What are you doing, Bungie? It's so frustrating. Like, you fucking idiots. First of all, I haven't even tried the Prestige raid since it came out, because I just barely got worked to the point where I knew all the encounters, and it took me a long time using this frustrating LFG shit. I'd basically do about one encounter a week, you know, and get down the mechanics, get down in my mind what I needed to do, beat it, and, you know, then it would be like, oh, in the next phase, it'd be dogs or something. The group would be frustrated as hell at dogs. They'd all leave. Then I try to pick up dogs through the week, probably have no success, you know, because I don't want to go back and play the first checkpoint again and not get any loot, or do it on another character that, you know, I'm not going to do that. I didn't even have another character. I only had one character in Destiny for Destiny 2. Up until recently, I finally leveled my Titan. But that was just like in the last couple of weeks. You see my point, and besides, to me, there's no fun in doing a checkpoint that I already know I can beat to an extent, you know. And the loot in the raid's terrible. There's not much reason to do it as far as just leveling up your character or anything. So that's my point here. Like, so I basically probably was averaging about one phase a week that I would get down complete, you know. So I finally got all 4 phases of the new Leviathan raid. I had at least some semblance of competency at them, and I felt like I knew what I was doing, you know. To an not perfectly, but for the most part. And then right then they come out with the fucking Prestige raid. I'm already pissed because, like, I finally learned the regular raid and I finally beat it. I never even beat it in one continuous raid, which always feels a little weird. Because one week I finally got to Callus. And I didn't want to fucking go through the whole raid again just to get to Callus that I'd never beaten before. I'm like, I gotta beat. So I picked up the Callus checkpoint through an LFG at some point, and we beat Callus. So I beat Callus, like, by himself. So I beat the whole raid that way. Like, I basically, to say, I beat each of the 4 segments individually, separately, but I've never beat the raids front to back, start to finish, you know, before, which feels a little weird, and I never like it. You know, I beat the raid, but I've never beat the raid in one sitting. But anyways, but I can do all the 4 parts, and I've beaten them all separate, and I know how to do them for the most part. But I only know how to do, like, the easy parts. I don't know how to do the shade room or whatever you call it, Callus. I don't know how to run in the gauntlets, those kinds of things. Which Prestige raid apparently makes you do, and I'm kind of dreading all that stuff, because now I got to learn more shit. And, you know, it's hard learning in LFG, because they're going to get mad when you fail a couple times, you know. And you're going to fail if you've never done it before, and it's just a vicious cycle. And how are you going to learn to do it if you don't fail a couple times? And you know, but how are you going to, you know what I mean? It's just difficult. And the point of it is that, excuse me, I don't like, you know, then they add the Prestige mode, which is basically hard raid. And the mechanics are so exacting and difficult and frustrating. And they're okay, you start getting the normal raid down over time, people hone their strategies, it starts getting decently easy. But stop with then they add the Prestige raid. Now it's even harder, and now it's even worse. And I haven't even touched the Prestige raid yet. Just because I don't want to start bashing my head on that difficulty anytime soon. And now I hear they added even another layer of, they got a quote-unquote challenge mode. Like, my gosh, stop, Bungie. And I saw Dado was saying, oh, challenge mode is rough. This is a guy who plays Destiny 24/7. This is a guy who it's his living, literally, to play Destiny. This is a guy who has a crack pro fire team at his disposal. And he thinks it's really, quote-unquote, really rough. You know, he was saying something about you really got to have power ammo to do it, and, you know, blah, blah, blah. It's really rough, was his exact quote. This is a guy with a crack pro fire team that he plays with all the time at his beck and call, who plays Destiny for a living, and it's quote-unquote really rough. What the hell chance does anybody in LFG have? Like me, like the vast masses. Zero. Zero. So it just makes me not even want to play. You know, Bungie keeps layering, and I feel like the game's incomplete. I always feel bad just playing the game and not doing the raid. You know, I just feel like I should try the raid. I do like some of the things they've done with Destiny 2. I do like how they've lessened that feeling that you have to do a lot of things to play. I do like that. I don't want to just bash on Bungie. There's a lot I try to look at the good and the bad. I like a lot of the things they've done with Destiny 2 to make it where you don't feel like you have to play so much. And I actually agree with that, because I used to always feel like there was just so much shit to do and I'd feel overwhelmed in Destiny 1. In Destiny 2, I do feel like there's plenty of free time to play the raid now. So I appreciate that, and that's great. But I just think the raid is more and more of a barrier to the game. Here's another problem. What is the deal with they want to make it all casual. They're making everything casual, and you don't have to play every 6 hours a day, and it's very. Okay, if that's the case, then why are your raids so brutally hard? You know, like stop the. We're making it casual. Oh, here's prestige mode. Here's the raid that's already extremely exacting and difficult under normal mode. Oh, now here's prestige mode that's even more exacting and difficult. Oh, here's challenge mode on top of. How many players can compete challenge mode? 1%. So on the one hand, they're giving us this message that we want this game to be casual. We don't want everybody to. And then here's this incredibly non-casual thing that requires this gigantic time investment. It's incredibly difficult. Where's the consistency even? So I've gone back and forth on that. I get that there's two sides to this. I get that if I'm Datto and I have a crack pro fire team, that I want to be challenged. So if I'm Datto, maybe I'm sitting in a different seat. Maybe I'm looking at the opposite of the way I look at it. But like I said, something's got to be done about the raid. I don't know how to put it into words or what, but it's the main thing that bothers me about Destiny nowadays, because it just seems so impossible. It's so much of a chore to LFG, and it's so much of a hassle to do the raid. But yet you feel like I always feel guilty, like I'm shirking it or something if I don't do it. Like I need to, even though I don't want to. And that's a shame. I don't know. I don't know how to fix it. I think the raids are what makes Destiny unique. The one thing it has that no other game has. People a lot of times say, Destiny copied Borderlands, it copied this. Everybody hates Destiny, so they never want to give it any credit. But the one thing Destiny did that's never been done before is raids, It's its claim to fame, and I get all that, but I just don't know what to do, that they feel like such a mental block to me now. They feel like a mental drag more than a joy, I don't know what to do about it. Here's what I think you should do, Bungie. Make a normal raid. Normal difficulty raid, right? Leave it alone, okay? Fucking done, okay? You don't need prestige raid. You don't need challenge mode. Leave the raid alone. It's hard enough. Make other things if you want other things. Make a new Nightfall style, add different stuff. Don't make new harder raids all the time, Leave it alone. Make a normal raid that's difficult enough as it is. And leave it. I would be satisfied. I know I can beat the normal way. It's not really too difficult once everybody gets the strategies down and they sort of distill through the community, and everybody learns best practices basically over time. But leave it there. Stop with this ever harder. This hard on top of hard. Stop, Stop. That's what I think. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe in a year I make a video saying I was completely wrong. Something's got to be done. The raid is annoying. It's annoying. It shouldn't be that way. I don't know. I would go back to matchmaking too. Maybe try matchmaking. I don't know what to do about that, but there's got to be some kind of matchmaking for it. Maybe that could solve it. Maybe the prestige and all these different raids are fine. You just need matchmaking. You got to figure out some kind of system. Maybe you could do a system where, only people who are 305 light are allowed into the matchmaking system. It's not going to weed out anybody for the raid. It's not going to weed out everybody, but it's going to weed out a lot. Maybe only people who are 305 and have mics on and this and that are allowed into the matchmaking system for the raid. Something. It's something. Or maybe only people who, only people who have a minimum of 30 hours in the game are 305. Put your little gates to make it somewhat gated and make a matchmaking. I don't know what you have to do, but it has to be easier to play the raid than it is. It has to be, Bungie. Stop this, So yeah, that's my video about Destiny. Have a good one.